Hello and welcome everyone. I don't know how did the day go past so fast. Feels like I just woken up. And I can't say that I would have had an exhausting day yesterday. But it feels like that. Well, finally the heat is starting to dissipate, but that has brought the constant feel of rains and the damn moisture with it. Hopefully the weather normalizes soon though. Just expect it to rain, but don't get boiled alive because of it. Well, anyway, let's actually get to the game itself. It's been a while. Though like it's been a week, but it feels like it's been a way longer than that. And when I was setting up the stream, which is like the main reason why it took so long for me to set it up, Twitch changed the tags. I wish I would be kidding, but the tags weren't working the same as they did on Tuesday. And everything I had set up, I had to reset up. They were all just blanked out. And let me actually make a test, because a moment ago, when I looked at my preview screen, it only showcased a visual novel tag. It's loading. Oh come on, why it's so slow at loading the preview. And okay, now it shows the tags I added, but then not the tags for the game itself. Okay, Twitch, you do you. Can't help with this. Well, let's actually get started with the turnabout victim. The feeling of the anticlimax of all of this. There are cheers and everything, but there we go. We finally have some music. I don't know. To me, like the original textures and everything made this feel much more fluent and much more sensible. Well, let's get going. But it's funny how this is the second game, and here we start the constant barrage of circus things. Because it won't stop, if we are honest. Third game, we get most of the brief of it. But the fourth game, it's a constant thing. And it continues thereon. Like, I think it's most prevalent in the fourth one, but it continues on forever. Not like it's done badly or overused, but funny how it took to the second game. And yeah, pre-prepared, because this music loop, we are going to hear it a lot. We are going to hear this much more than we hear the carousel song if we would be playing Roller Coaster Tycoon. I do like it, but it should be made a bit more This repeats. It's like it has multiple parts, but it repeats the beginning part right away. So, yeah. And yeah, that title seems to switch around a lot during the series as well. Yes, definitely. What do you mean? It is a form of magic. It's a form of spirit magic. Like, you can't deny it, Phoenix. You cannot explain it with science, so it goes in the category of magic. Is it raining outside or not? Like, it was like a couple hours before the stream. I went on a small walk, and suddenly Pokemon Go was like, oh, it's raining. It wasn't raining, but it's been like getting darker and darker and darker since then. I guess it is raining, but it's raining like very tiny droplets. It's hard to see. Yeah, 6 months. Like, this is a huge time skip. Like, I say that it's a good thing that there is a time skip, but 6 months, I think it is a bit too extensive. Especially since there are certain events which should have a time skip even longer because of the trauma it would cause the people, and then there isn't any. With this one, like, yeah, like her trauma of the events, I wouldn't think like 6 months would be the key. And the way that she has been raised, a couple of months, like maybe actually a couple of weeks should be enough. Because I assume that her, the way she was raised up is super strict. And the way her mother manipulated her must make it so that she would feel and seem like much more stable than she actually would be. And good god, my TV is flashing. Stop it. I need you to be a preview screen. I don't want to use my tablet because that means I need to mess up with the sound settings. Plus the fact, in most not most, but in many streams, I put the tablet for loading under my bedside table during the streams. I can't load it from the PC because that somehow messes up the stream deck. I don't know why, but it does. Like, it has to be some sort of power conversion thing, because nothing else does it, even if I have multiple other devices charging. At one point I had 2 phones charging at the same time and no issue. But the tablet, that's an issue. And here we go. You would think in 6 months this situation would have been explained to her, but no, it gets worse. it more feels like the reason for the time skip is just so we could have a summer setting and immediately a winter setting. Like, there should have been multiple cases like between here. The office, there's no way that the office could stand if there hasn't been any. No! Why did you have to answer? Let it ring. And once again, we find what we are going to do next from watching TV news. Sensational murder. Like, when a murder that's televised is not sensational. Like, how is Maya always the one knowing these things? And there we go. Let's see, I have no memory what things to update, so let's see if something has updated. Yeah, ask the plant to help. I can't see that being any sort of Steel Samurai poster. You just said that the office is a mess, so... for the price that they are, a used bookstore would not even buy them. Unless they would buy them at a rip-off price. But, like, the worth, and like, well, not the worth, the money, just the money, because they are not actually nearly worth as much as they cost, that are put into legal books. You, like, I could live for months. For like a couple of months, just if you would get the usual 70% of the price from one of these rows. I could live for a couple of months. Saying entire thing, I might actually try to get a loan for an apartment of my own. I could go like hungry for a while if I would not have to pay rent again. Oh, you just now say it's only recently. Not referring to any of the events. Well, I can't shift the view, so let's go to the detention center. Well, the funny thing is, Maya like gets to be a fan of so many, well, celebrities. Well, you have to say heroes in a way. This magician is usually played as a hero, and they just end up like all of them seem to end up being accused of murder. And well, Maya is correct on the fact that they wouldn't do it, but there is a pattern forming, a clear pattern. And I wonder, the way that he just threw cards at the the spectre cards between the booths, who's gonna clean those up? Would, like, when the visit is over, would the guard make him pick up all of his cards? Or are the cards trick cards, so he just winds some sort of wire to get them back? Because he does draw a lot of cards in the end. Like, how many decks can you even hold inside your sleeve? Also, I just noticed something odd. What the hell? I look at my main screen. The colors seem normal. I recognize the colors being right from the previous time I've seen the character. I look at the TV screen. It looks the same. I look at the second screen, the one that used to be my main screen. His hair is way reddish and brighter pink. Everything else is the right color. Why is the hair so different? I wish I could showcase this, but I can't. Let's just move on. It's starting to hurt my eyes. Like, how can one element be a different color? How did she pick a card? There's a clash between them. And I did tell you, he's throwing a lot of cards. Like, we have far gone past pick 52. Oh, like, the arrogance on this fellow. How, like, being a circus actor, you should assume that your fans are a bit more plebeian, you know? But with an attitude like that, you would expect that he's only doing private shows in VIP clubs. There is a clash between. How are they changing these items? It's usually referred that a character has hit their head or a hand on the class or something, and they are just exchanging cards somehow. Like, do we just have to believe that he tricked the glass somehow, that the cards just go through? It's a very common magic trick. One, funnily enough, that I haven't seen that someone has made a reveal show where they show how that trick works. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know how, but I guess the fact that I've been spacing my drinks has caused an effect. Because I just were too tired. I didn't go to the grocery store today. Because I was like, I'm not going to make the mincemeat today anyway. So I might as well go to the grocery store tomorrow. I have more time to do it. Now I'm feeling that tomorrow it's going to be all rain. Well, I have the cloak. Like, I don't mind walking in the rain while I have the cloak on. But I do mind when it's raining both ways. Like, I only don't mind when it's raining when I'm coming back from somewhere. Because when I get here, I just take off the cloak, hang it to dry. But when I'm going somewhere, finding a place where I have an easy time getting the cloak off, and especially putting it somewhere where it can dry a bit, not gonna happen. And are we going to see the trick of making Maya go through a glass wall? Yeah, it is a big piece of glass. You are just magicking up cards at the moment. And funny enough, they are all the same card. No, don't go talking about Fabuloso. Anyone who has played Broken Sword knows who I'm talking about. Like, overall even, that part of the game is like one of the most annoying parts of the game. And some say that character saves it, I say that character damns it. Yes, please, try to avoid the word fabulous constantly. And I just remembered, we didn't showcase our badge. And Maya's been put down. Okay, this sucks. Yeah, like TV magic shows, they don't work that well. Like they only certain types of tricks usually go well with TV magic. I do enjoy, because they for some reason play an episode almost every day. So I sometimes manage to catch one or two during the weekend of You Fooled Us by Penn and Teller. It was something like that, how the show's name is. At least it's exactly that way if you translate the Finnish one to English. But anyway, the idea of that show is that there are magicians that come on to a stage run by Penn and Teller, and they try to do a trick, and the trick has to fool both Penn and Teller. They must not know how the trick is done. If they succeed, they get a trophy. And the last episode I saw was an extremely funny one, because there was someone coming in for their 4th attempt, and they have already gotten 2 tricks in. So they didn't succeed, or at least they think that Penn and Teller knew how the trick is done. The way that they like mentioned that they think it's done, like hinted at it, it didn't make any sense to me. With most of them, when they have like successfully identified how the trick is done and say there's a hint, it usually makes some sense. With that one, it didn't. But there was another one who came in for their 3rd attempt, and it was their 3rd time winning as well. Like, imagine like being one of the most famous magician pairs at their very own game 3 times in a row. Like, I can imagine that the rage wasn't all just acting. There must have been some real annoyance in there. But yeah, the thing that I was going for is that live magic works way better than TV magic, because with TV magic, crap, my throat. There's just too much of, well, actual TV magic. They use tricky camera angles, they use fake props, and like, especially those street magician shows, where they supposedly just gone to the street and did a trick, and it's all just a huge prop-filled stage with everything, and I mean everything, being faked. Like, of course the tricks and everything has to be faked, but it's so better when it's done without much gimmicks. Let's say a card trick. The only gimmick is the fact that someone can move their hands so fast that they do something that appears impossible. Or like, let's say a complex trick that has many types of props. Like, there could be cards, there would be envelopes, there would be dice and boxes and all sorts of those kind of tricks. And in the end, the only thing that was fake was the dice. Those are like the best usually. But yeah, one failed attempt at a trick in the Fooled Us, which I thought was a bit too obvious, was that like the tricks themselves were basic magic card tricks, and many of them worked well. They were fun to look at. But when everything was revealed, it was revealed in a video format that was just played on the stage. Immediately when I saw the first video, I was like, oh, because there is only a certain amount of options that things can be. You must have filmed all of the options to a video, and that was it. He spent like 28 hours filming that he lifted up 2 different cards, like every possible 2 different card options. And like, that's lame. like, you should have an expectation that when they showcase a video, it's the only video that there is. Because if there are like millions and millions of options, that means that it's not just the magician doing the trick. Also, the crew has to be in the trick. And that's not the spirit of the show. Then why are you in this cell? And that should change anything because... And that should change anything because... Well, an airplane seems to have something to say. From what I could hear, that was the rescue helicopter, not an actual plane. Sorry for the confusion. I'm just too used to just saying a plane when it's anything that flies. Because in essence, it's always called, at least in Venice, like it's called, like all air traffic, it's just called plane traffic in a way. And usually you just expect to be planes, just throughout. Like that helicopter that went past, it flew so down, it's not even considered air traffic. But it flew so down, it would be illegal for it to move, but it's a rescue helicopter, so it was most likely being in a very hasty place to get the landing. I would assume it would land somewhere very nearby. It was coming from the hospital. The makeup is leaking quite a lot. And oh! I don't recall noticing this in the original, but one of the lashes just fell. I have never met any rich folk that won't just break down when the push comes to shove. Usually having money doesn't remove your character. You do get coddled by the money. There are some that have gained the character later on. I won't be naming any, but it's a very rare case, and usually they have caused suffering, so much suffering from the get-go, and now are trying to make up. And even possibly some of them are actually genuine that they are trying to make things better now, but some of them it's clear that it's just an act. Just to be the... I hate that there is no English term for it, but in Finnish there is a term that it's a great sin, even though it's a way that so many do. That if you just on your deathbed start acting very faithful, very charitable, that's actually a sin. You are just trying to fake, you're just trying to leave a good imprint from you when you're about to go. You didn't live by it. It's not you, it's just an act. And I wish that there would be an English term for it, at least if there is, I have never heard of it. In Finnish there is a term and it's used constantly. Vanhurskaus. And it legit is compiled from the words of like being charitable, pious, and pious when you are old. But I don't think we are going to have enough evidence because we don't really have any. But let's see. There is clearly a secret with 3 locks even. And immediately we have nothing, so we can't do nothing. At least they don't allow us to go like way deep into the second one before pushing us out, like the last case did. Well, it's time for us to move. But I remember that there is a thing, like a conversation which is special, so actually let's go to the office for a second. Well, to be honest, like most magicians I know or have read about or seen on TV are from countryside. Like, it makes sense that if you're not a very outgoing person and you live in a rural area, there isn't like much you're gonna do, so it's very sensible that that's more likely the place where good magicians come from. Especially since they can't coddle into the, oh, I'm just going to see and know many magicians, like professional ones, because they aren't around. They come like in once a year. So you're more likely to start like studying and becoming a magician yourself because you can't get that entertainment value so easily. You know? But we need to go to the present part, and we have Max's profile. As far as I remember, there should be a special mention of something. We present the profile. Why? What do you mean? Just some country pumpkin? Thing. Billy Bob Jones. Well, anyone without like a full-on stage name don't have a good sounding real name, or they would just use that. And even most of those have changed their name at least somewhat. But yeah, 3 first names, it is ordered. Especially if one of them is a last name. But that would go with most people that has a last name that is also like usable as a first name. Because at least here there was like a long period of time where everyone born needs to have 2 first names. I think it might still be the case that you cannot register just 1 first name, you need to register both, like 2. But I'm not sure, I haven't checked. There have been some very, very disturbing things allowed to be a legal name. Like, oh, that was an achievement, so I guess I did things correct. I remember that there was something special. Oh, let's go to the circus. But, for example, one of the accepted first names, and I still can't understand how that was accepted and where in the country it was. But if the name would be translated, it would just mean third sandwich. Like, how is that accepted? There are clear statements that say that the names cannot be hurtful for any participant. It cannot be something that would offend someone else, and especially not that it would be offensive to the person. But that was just allowed. So the feeling I get, it has to be a bastard son of someone rich, most likely a politician. So they just paid so that name would go through, so they can just push off like that bastard not being theirs. Although the reality would be that they would gain far more notoriety of that bastard because of that name. But I'm just way too used to that politicians aren't smart. Most of them are very, very stupid. They just know enough people that make people vote for them. Literally make people vote for them. Like, from the last time I read about, it was somewhere up like 40% of all drunk driving is done by politicians here. That's a very high number when you think about it. And most likely in reality it is lower, but we are talking about all registered drunk driving. Because most likely it would be near like 70%, I would say, of all drunk driving would be those not registered. Because it's a very common thing that people gather up, they drink, oh, we need to move the car, well, we are just going to move the car a bit. Or that they operate a bike at a very short distance, or it's like very small things, usually done in a private area as well. It happens. But when you go on a public road, I condemn that so wholeheartedly. It should never happen. Even when like moving a car, like you should really know when it's the limit. Like when you are in a private area, I do condemn if you have drank more than, let's say, 2 beers. That's a point where I would say it's equally damnable. Because you should know that you shouldn't be even touching a car. But no. Funny how there's only 2 booths and they are right next to each other. Yeah, how expensive would that be? Especially like a circus having a program sold? That sounds like a very shady thing. Usually a circus just tries to wow you in a way that you would want to come back because there's so many things happening. If they put things on a timetable, it would make it less likely that people come back. I would assume that the elephant would be somewhere, but most likely not in a stage that taking a picture with them would be a good idea. And that's another thing. Like, stars on one's face, I've always kept that as a very, very, well, not disgusting, but a very, I don't even know how to describe it. A disappointing thing to see. Yeah, maybe disappointment is the best descriptor. Yeah, disappointment. Well, it's called the Very Big Circus, so it would make sense that it's a big tent that's colored red. It's usually, like in most cases and in most parts of the world, when someone says berry to you, you most likely think of a red berry. It might be a strawberry, it might be a different type of berry, but most likely it's red. Or at least somewhere in the spectrum. I know that in a certain part of the country, if someone says berry to them, it will bring the color yellow, because that's usually the only berries that you see in that area. But almost everywhere else, just saying the word berry and everyone thinks of strawberries. But we can go to the top or the lodging house plaza. I have no memory what order of things happened, so expect this to take a while. And wait, good God, I have already streamed for 50 minutes. What? How? Yikes. I've been talking a lot today, haven't I? And there we go, Gumshoe. So, has he not been on a crime scene for 6 months? Well, let's present our badge. No! One weakness. I would want to know what that looks like. And most likely I would want one. Okay, let's talk. What a surprise! What do you think? She had no hesitations to do so, Phoenix. So why would she hesitate doing it now? And again, suddenly we are mentioning Edgy Boy. Gumshoe. Don't just say that you are not allowed to say what happened. never really understood. Like, why is Phoenix so butthurt about this? It's never meant, like, shown to be a thing of that nature in the investigations. Well, dying in the cold, it's a double-edged thing. It can be like the best thing. It can even make you survive sometimes when it's cold enough. Like, you don't actually die, you just fall into a hibernate type of situation. Especially, like, that is a case that happens to people that are, like, would drown in a warmer occasion. They have survived a surprisingly, like, an insanely long time submerged underwater because it's so cold. Like, temperature and ice is a very, very weird thing if you start studying it. Like, the layers of different temperatures in the water. Like, of course, the water itself cannot be under zero when it's fresh water. Salt water can be, but it usually isn't. But when you have a freshwater lake, the different layers of different heat zones, and like the fact that it's not always the fact that usually the higher you go, the warmer it is. It's not that when it's winter and the surface is iced over. There is like a huge pocket of 4-degree water, and then there are different degrees below and above it. I don't remember the exact orders how it usually goes, but it's somewhere in the middle where there is the warmest spot. I don't even remember why it functions that way when the ice roof is on top of the lake, but it just happens. I should find a good biology book to find the reference image that showcases it, because it is an interesting thing to think about. But it's the reason why fish just don't die during the winter. Well, remember this thing. Remember. Maya, you were just gushing, like not so long ago, gushing over fangirling about a man who supposedly knows how to fly. Well, let's examine around what we can. There shouldn't be much we can do now, but how could you even fall for that? Well, the light bulb. This one. And like a light bulb exactly like that. Well, not exactly. When the text box is gone, I will showcase the one detail that's different about it. But this is usually what I imagine as the light bulb. Like, the only detail is that you see the access panel spot here. Make it like 1/3 of the length, so it would be like up here. This area only. I always remember a thing that happened in kindergarten. I don't even remember who was the unfortunate person in this story, but I was like playing with them. It was during the winter, and there were like the trees around the kindergarten had this sort of shape that made them look like they are like captcha machines. And we were like playing that, oh, these are captcha machines that have gone like candy in them. And they like put their mouth under the machine, which was the tree, and I just twitched the odd branch, that formation that they had. That was like the game. Remember, kindergarten kids, very young. That seems a sensible game for that age. I assume. At least I remember that it seemed like a normal thing. But then he went to the light pole and did the same thing like before even I got there, and what do you know? His tongue and lips got stuck inside the stuck on the light pole. And people still say that you cannot get your tongue frozen on a light pole. It's a myth. No, it can happen. I just witnessed it happening. It just needs to be a certain degree of like cool, like cold, not cold enough, but cold. Like if I remember correct, like the actual degrees have to be somewhere like below 10, but not cold as -13. Somewhere between. And there has to be enough moisture in there, and then it happens, and it happens easily. And yeah, the poor fellow who got their tongue stuck, I remember that, yeah, they were in pain, they were screaming. I tried to get an adult. They used some hot water to get them out, but I do remember that it wasn't a pretty sight when they got their tongue out. But the tongue got out easily, but the lips, I remember that part of the lips were left behind. Yeah, peanut. If I would be paid in peanuts, I might actually be happy. Because peanuts are super expensive. It would most likely be far more than the same amount in just cash. It's insane. Especially like peanut butter. That's especially. It's not a thing that people use here. People just use butter. Well, not butter, but margarine. I just like calling all sort of spreadings butter that are like margarine or actual butter based. That's the way how people usually say, like when you go somewhere to eat and they have bread, people ask where's the butter. No one says where's the margarine. It's just the way that people just say butter even though they mean margarine. Most people wouldn't want to use actual butter, they would want margarine, but just say butter. That's how things work. I think that's all I can do for now over here, so let's move back to the entrance. And then the big top. Why is the stage deconstructed in this manner? That's actually a good question. Hello, you baby. Are you sure? It kind of felt like your spirit left your body there. Your adorable face. Look at them. Adorable. I wish that we would see more of them. Only in spirit, not in body. Yeah, she is correct, so... you can't say hardly ever, because one bite of any sort, like scratches are usually just accepted, but a bite, one bite, and the animal would be put down. That's just how things work. Even if it would be playful, if someone witnessed that there was a bite, it just immediately. Don't do that. Your sparkle was just spread all over the place. I can't remember any other occasion where someone thinks that Maya's costume is pretty in any form. I think her costume is actually great. I do like it, but it is always usually said that it's just weird or uncanny, suspicious, things like that. It's never described as, you know, pretty, cute. Well, anyway, let's continue. And no, this is something I think is really creepy. If you like, even if I would see a cool armor of some sort or a suit, I don't even dare to think about wearing someone else's. It's just creepy to ask, and especially the fact that the size difference would be horrible. I would assume the same thing over here. There would be a size difference. There's like, I think that she is canonically way smaller. I just remember that there was a panel in the comic. Might be that I remember wrong. Well, we present a badge, like always. And she doesn't have any lines for it. Disappointment. Well, let's talk to her. And she's just so clamored about that. Like, when you see, like, just take a still frame of this. If you would see this sight, someone just saying, "My dad was murdered," with a smile like that, you would instantly think, they are behind it. They are somehow the one who somehow orchestrated. Shouldn't it be obvious? No, like, even if you would hate your dad, you wouldn't be that bright and cheery about the fact that they were murdered. Yeah, Maya understands how horrible this situation should be. Yeah. Oh, what do I drink it? Yeah, it's nothing scary in the end. Yeah, adorable. Look at that adorable face. With these names, freaking, we had Eeny Miny and Eeny Meeny, and then we get Leon the lion. So we have Lion the lion. Like Draco the dragon. That's something I'm far more accepting of. But Leo for a Leon for a lion. No, you can't. Like, calling dragon a dragon, that's more acceptable. Dragon is something. Whoa, the dragon. Okay, acceptable. But just calling a lion, no. Yeah, and especially remember the fact how cheery she was when she said that her father was murdered, and now that she's saying that her best friend was killed by her own dad, everyone should be like certain that yep, she's the one who did it. Well, yeah, we have the profile, so I think we should get some more information by presenting it. Yeah, in this game, like, we actually do get some more information by presenting profiles. Like, now we did about the Ringmaster's room, where we should head next, but let's examine the surroundings a bit. I see a stepladder. Just a stepladder. Yeah, and here we go again. every time. And like, wait, have there actually been a ladder on like at any point so far? Hasn't it always been an actual step ladder? I can't remember seeing a normal ladder at any point. I know that there are some in the 4th and 5th game, but I don't remember are there in this or the 3rd game. Yeah, why are the lights down here if they aren't moving? I hate spotlights. Not only that they are insanely bright, make me want to die, they are also so bloody warm, melting under them. This interaction is very uncanny. Like, you would think that she would be a character in historical sort of series. These rings look like they are barbed wire. I guess that it's supposed to be the remnants of the it's kind of like, how do I explain it? It's usually this oil that's in a kind of gelatin form that they use for the fire tricks. And the remains of that, it tends to be white, but it takes a while for it to cool down. Like when it's applied and when it's lit, it looks like it's not actually there. But when it's burned up and then cooled down, it forms this white crust. So these rings need some cleaning. And they have a steel ball. At least I think, because it looks like it goes in a round, so steel ball cage of death. Haven't seen any motorbikes though. No, don't do that. Yeah, Phoenix, you are right. $500. Imagine an event with 500 people, especially now with the situation in the world still going on and never ending as it seems to be. Like, I don't even know. Vague memory from last year that one of the traveling circuses here quit. They just had to end because of what last year was. But I remember seeing circus ads this year, so I assume that they just had more spacing available. And like that circus is like way bigger moneymaker anyway. I can't be certain. Did I see the ads this summer, like this year or last year though? But like, it's not that they draw in that big of crowds anymore anyway. Like circuses should be fine with keeping places safe, but overall the fact that people would be scared to go and the fact that people are less and less interested, I'm surprised that there are still circuses for people to go into here. It's usually once in a year, but still. Well, I think we have studied everything, so let's go to the Ringmaster's room. Like, there isn't a single case where you aren't trying to steal something. Okay, let's examine. Yeah. I want to know what that number is. It's a good thing that they didn't actually mention it, because it most likely would have sound way less exciting now than it would have. You know, like during the time when the game was originally released. It's like the Austin Power joke. I want $1 million. Doo-doo-doo. And everybody laughs. There's a nice amount of trophies here. Let's look. Don't know, could be anything. Is that Shoki? Then that kind of looks like golf. Then we have a traditional one. Then we go up here. It could be anything. Could be anything, could be anything, could be anything, could be anything. Now that's just a football trophy. These both are usually kind of chess trophies, and these could be anything. Oh yeah, they actually mentioned that it is a golf trophy. But a mini golf, that doesn't actually make sense, because they were real like going for a drive there. You don't go for a drive in mini golf. I never seen a single mini golf route where you can, like in a feasible manner, do a drive shot and think about getting it in the hole. But all country quiz champions? That sounds like very random. Ringmasters Association Mini Golf Master. That does make sense, because circuses might have mini golf. Like, circuses sometimes are part of a moving carnival. So mini golf makes sense. And overall, it's something that ringmasters would do on their own time. It makes sense. A beer belly balloon bounce jump. That doesn't make any sense. Like, what? And then bet grooming Grand Prix. Makes sense. You have an animal trainer. But would a tiger be allowed to enter any of those competitions? I doubt. Stop thinking about stealing everything. Let's look at that a bit. Enlarge with famous symbols. I have some vague memories that this becomes a thing we need to know and display at one point, but we won't need it for a while, I think. Oh, there's still more. That's actually not such a bad idea. If you would have a good place to place an like a poster ad of a law firm, it it actually would be a good way to advertise it. But making it a spectacle like that, no, especially not with Phoenix. Now that you mention it, last week I did to watch a very interesting documentary about the Titanic. Have I mentioned anything about it yet? That's actually not bad. Oof. But like many of Phoenix's clients have become like a part of an extended family in a way. Although after the game, they most of them just seem to disappear, never to be heard again, and things reset with them. But during it, there are some like family ties kind of things going on. But I always wondered like why did they put the filter on the posters like these posters because they aren't like a reference to something else. They are actually meant to be seen. The pictures I can understand, not the posters. And it's so lesser that you can still make out everything that's going on with the posters. Like maybe you wanted this one would have been needed some more, and this one as well. I would say because they are kind of spoilerish of characters we are about to meet, but nothing else really. Why? Why would they want clowns to get to get clowns out of the occasion? Just make them all lose their jobs. Like that's just horrifying. Well, if you are going to be on the stage for multiple hours, like almost every day, and under those extremely strong lights, you need to have protection on your skin. It's just a fact. One other reason why I hate stage lights. But you are going to anyway. But not now. The way Regina mention things about his dad, though, doesn't bring that to the light, now does it? Have I actually gotten everything? I would remember that I gotten something else here than the poster as well. But, well, we have this, like, we know about it. It's not a thing in our court record, even though I think it should be. Like, we have that, like, this part. But I remember that there should have been another thing about it. Or maybe did that one transform into it? It's been such a long time. I don't think she's gonna give us anything yet, but let's see. No. Well, we are gonna just leave her bouncing here. And I don't think we are gonna get Gumshoes talking about anything. It's not yet. Yeah. I have vague memories that those will become a thing, but way later on, maybe. Well, we should be able to talk to Galactica now. How about we... Oh. Do we just go for this already? Is it really the time? I have my doubts, but it might be. Memory is really failing. So let's skip. Well, enormous race a week ago, so... Private. It's not giving you any favors saying that. But here we go. We don't have this. We have nothing. So, whoops. There shouldn't be anything we can talk to him about anymore. And there is a location that we are supposed to get into, but how did we get into that location is the thing. I don't remember, because we clearly need to unlock it. Let me think. There is something that we have to present for sure to get further on. But I don't remember. What could it be? Oh, I just remembered something. I haven't talked to Regina about everything now, have I? Yeah, I think that there is one action which I haven't done with either Regina or Gumshoe. So let's do that now. And let's present Max's profile. You don't look like so. You can't just giggle your way out. Just her. Is there an attraction going here? Bum, bum, bum. Trilogy. There should be the clear fact that she is the daughter of the ringleader. So, if you win her attraction, you win the circus at some future time. Maya, it's not the place, and especially not the thing to do if you don't mean it. And I don't think it's that much you to her than her to you. And Phoenix, you didn't showcase any of those kind of feelings before. How old was she again? 16. Maya is 18. She's 16. Phoenix, how old were you again? So better that we just move away. Keep on moving away. And yeah, we haven't shown the defendant to you, haven't we? A hat with a feather on it. Yeah. You want something special to them. Something that screams you. Well, we have a new topic to talk about. The witness. No, the prosecution is not meant to have trump cards. Everything is supposed to be shared like months in advance between prosecution and defense. How has this country stayed like afloat with a legal system like this? Well, to be honest, the courts in the game series seem less like the circus of just pay what we want to happen than reality. It is sad. Yes, Gumshoe, good. Good. Mention that we are about to enter a place. Yeah, just feign ignorance, feign ignorance. Mo. We found Mo. Eeny, meeny, and now Mo. I didn't actually remember that there was a Mo here. We found them. We actually found them. The lost brother. Oh. Yeah, because I haven't actually noticed that I've already been on for like over an hour and a half. I need a break. I have been out of a drink for a while and I've been talking a lot. So I'll be right back. Don't you guys worry.
There is no time to be lost. Battle, brothers! Space Marines, today the enemy is at our door. We know our duty and we will do it. We fight for our honor as Blood Ravens, as Space Marines, and we fight in the name of the Emperor. And if we die this day, we die in glory. We die heroes' deaths, but we shall not die. No, it is the enemy who will taste death and defeat, as you know. Most of our battle brothers are stationed in space, prepared to deep strike. Our perimeter has been prepared in the event that our enemies should be so bold and so foolish. We have placed numerous beacons, allowing for multiple, simultaneous, and devastating defensive deep strikes. The Codex Astartes names this maneuver Steel Rain. We will descend upon the foe. We will overwhelm them. We will leave none alive. Meanwhile, our ground forces will ensure the full defense of our headquarters. We are the Space Marines. We are the Emperor's Fury.
Yeah, sorry about that. Taking a bit longer than necessary. But there was a situation happening in the stairway, so I had to make sure that that got resolved before I can turn on the mic back on again. Let's just say it was a very good timing on my part that I took the break at that moment, so there were no chance of any of that bleeding through since the mic wasn't on. But let us continue. We have discovered the long lost Mo. Gee, I wonder whose room this could be. But let's look around a bit. Like, it should be obvious to everyone that yeah, this is a place of a clown, but the heck is this? I would expect something like this for a rabbit, not a clown. But then again, yeah, I never really understood. Maybe it's a name pun of some sort, but I don't know what's the character's original name. I haven't looked into it ever. And in English, there isn't any sort of a pun. Oh, the AC is something we cannot talk about. Nor this fancy red TV and the VCR below it. And I would assume that that's where all the porn is hidden behind. But this ring is something we can talk about. That guy, we don't know about that guy yet, that's the thing. The heavy hard reading, huh? Funny jokes are funny. I actually have read a book with that title. And it goes in the mechanics of jokes, and it was very, very planned. And there we go. I sorry for if that sound went through much, but I had to better this place of the mic. But yeah, I don't recall ever laughing during the book. It just goes into this is the proper structure of a joke. The joke goes like this: you have a setup, you have the pause, and then you have the punchline, followed by laughter. And I can't remember the details, but I remember that many of the jokes would have been funnier if it would have been done in the wrong order. Like, they would have been actually fun. I should correct. It's not creepy, it looks sad. It looks like the discount of a costume store. I would actually be interested in seeing that. But the sad thing is, most of them would be a very much a lack of clothing and then painting on the tattoos on the skin. Are you going to flay people that have those colors or tattoos? Or would it just be the loincloth and then a picture of what the paintings as tattoos should be? I get the feeling that, like, well, these shoes look extremely flat, but I get the feelings like these shoes wouldn't be at all oversized for me. They would be far too small on, like, this side. I have very, very large shoes, and the fact that I wore down shoes extremely fast as well. Like, I wish that I could afford like a really good shoes, ones that would actually last more than a year. Ugh. It's just the fact that most shoes that I have gotten, they cost exactly the same regardless of the size. That's due to some weird law. But then when you start to actually look about like at them, you notice that, oh, they have actually used the same amount of material between all sizes. Just that instead of the material being thick and secure, it's stretched out to thin. That's why they cost the same. It's not fun, you know. But here's the deal. Now that Mo wasn't in, what am I missing? What actually am I missing? I'm certainly missing something. But, But what? I'm just trying to remember. Because we have pretty much done everything that can be done? Or could it be that because we did the things that I forgot last time, we get to meet a character in the entrance? Yep, there we go. So it was just those two things that I was missing. That's not a polite thing to say to someone, you know. To be honest, his costume is pretty normal for the series. If the bow tie would be just a bit smaller, he would go as any sort of valet or business type person. Also, phone, why do you go the thing? Why does go the thing? Safari Zone details announced. What? So again, lovely events happening somewhere else around the world, in big cities. When the whole idea of the game was that you're supposed to go into nature. You're supposed to go. Not stay at big city, beat game. Like it has been. Like, imagine, Pokemon Go is now 5 years old. It's been out for 5 freaking years. And only this year you could have completed the Gen 2 Pokédex without paying or traveling at least to Africa. Yeah. Took 5 years. I've been patient. I've been really, really patient. And I hope that getting Gen 3 done doesn't require 2 more years. One of the Pokemons that would require a trip to Africa, I have managed to get through a trade. One. Just one. Because the trading system just sucks. Like, I understand that you have to be near someone to trade. If you could just far away trade, it would remove the point of the region exclusives completely. But the fact that sucks completely is that, hey, let's take an example. It wouldn't touch me because I have so many Tauros. There have been so many events that have gave them, so I have many. But let's imagine someone random other player from Europe. They are missing Tauros because they haven't played during the events, and you can only get it in the US. One of their US friends is coming over, and it's like he's going to be there for a single day and meet up with you and a couple of your friends, like common friends. Then you find out that he traded the Tauros for one of your friends who also didn't have it for a Mr. Mime, which he doesn't have because it's an Europe exclusive. But then you discover that your friend cannot trade you a Tauros because he have already done a special trade for that day. Next day he will be gone. You won't get a Tauros. Why the 1 per day limit? It would make sense if it would be 1 per day per account. Like, you're trading with person A, you can only do once per day, but then you could trade with person B. Not that only since you traded with person A, you can't trade with person B. It's just horrible. It ruins the entire purpose of the thing. Oh, he doesn't even have a badge response. Well, let's talk to him. Normal guy. Yeah, that should creep you out a bit. That's what people have been saying in the background, and we are just slowly getting to understand. Head hurts? Like, sounding like that, you would think that he's suffering some sort of a medical episode. Maybe a blunt force trauma and would require help. That's what you keep saying. But to be honest, ventriloquists are like one of the most normal people out of anyone that would be on a circus. Usually that's not even a circus act, it's like a bar or a stand-up act. Overall, it's a joke act, not a circus act. It's nothing spectacular. It can be really funny, but it's not large stage funny. It's a small stage funny. It's pretty much we are comparing a stand-up comedian and a clown. A ventriloquist goes somewhere between, but way heavy more on the side of a stand-up comedian. So, small stage fun. And I'm talking about the type of stage, not the money behind the stage. Because many times people mix up the fact that if they say on a big stage, it just means you are in an expensive place. Like, let's compare. Damn, I don't know good stages around the world by default. But let's create a fictional example that people usually think it as. They think that small stage is their local bar or school, or maybe their local theater, while the big stage is the stage in the capital city. No, the fact that both of them are, all of them are actually small stages, while big stages are the circus. They are the ones where people actually see them around, and the stage itself is large. It legit goes into that. It's completely different type of acts that can and should be performed. Ventriloquism and stand-up comedy should happen in a small stage environment. They are way better in that format. I haven't really ever actually witnessed a stand-up comedy act in a large stage. And this time, I mean, I haven't ever seen it happening in an actual large stage or in a expensive small stage. They just work on actually small stages way better. Especially when there shouldn't be a huge differentiation between the audience and the stand-up comedian, because in most cases the best things that happen at stand-up comedy shows is when they pick someone out of the crowd, start talking personally to them or about them. And you know the comedian is good when they can do that without actually offending anyone and just especially making that person laugh with everyone instead of everyone laughing at that person. But that was all we can talk. Showing Max's profile has been a thing for everyone, but no, he doesn't talk about Max at the moment. There is a good reason why he's very not talkative, but here's the deal. I don't remember exactly where do we get this situation resolved. I wonder, because that's everything we can do now. Was this the point where Mo has returned? Yes, it seemingly is. Clapamo. That's another way to create someone. And yeah, he has a carrot spotting there. I don't get this. Like, I get the mouth hat thing. I can actually see it as a working act that he would just put his head down and act that this is his actual nose and mouth. What the heck is with the carrots? Like, I don't get the carrot bit whatsoever. It's so weird. Imagine if that would actually be meant to be true. He would have more visitors than Max Galactica. Organic grapes. He doesn't look like he would be someone who would enjoy apples and grapes. Why? I'm just so close bashing my head into something. This guy. Was that actually meant to be Maya genuinely laughing, because it, like, the way the text was inputted was very mechanical. Yeah, I'm with Phoenix. For once, I'm with Phoenix. No. Clowns themselves being funny, I've never seen that. Ever. Like, I never seen clowns as a frightening thing either. At default, they just tend to be a character. Just a very mediocre, usually on the way of meh more than on the norm. But if they act upon it, and act upon it good, they might be good. Because there is the legendary clown called Hermione. So, Clown Hermione. He's a very good clown. I loved to look at the TV show about him. It was one of my favorites. It's an old one. It was even old when I was young. But it's a classic. I kind of wish to see more about that show. Like see the old clips. They were very short. But I doubt they are anywhere I can legally see them. And even illegally, I doubt that I can get much more than maybe some random clips on YouTube. Yeah, Phoenix, actually, I need to take this for a project, but Phoenix got a point here. But after all he has suffered too, I'm very much against that this is the point where he's just leaving home. He's been through physical and mental, like actual real abuse. And this is where his line is crossed. I wouldn't say that this should be the line crossing where he goes home. This should be the line crossing where he just punches the clown. Just take that broken balloon and just toss it at him. It wouldn't even count as an assault. It would count as you're trying to join in a clown gag. But to be honest, he's doing a good clown like act in the way that saying unfunny jokes and then acting crazily amused about it. It's a good clown act. If I would see this live, I most likely would enjoy the fact that he's such a good actor of like making himself look like that he actually make himself amused. You know? But as I think it's actually meant to be serious, he's actually amused by his own jokes, which would make the act in reality bad. This face. Let me actually get that one for prosthetic as well. I just love how this weird freaky mouth hat also goes with the actual one. It's making me think that he might actually be some sort of foul chaos mutant. You know? Maybe this isn't any sort of makeup. Maybe that's actually his nose and that's actually a second mouth spawned as a mutation. Let's talk to him. Yeah, 20 years is a long career. But for a circus, it's not that long, to be honest. But for being with a single ring reader, yes, it is long. Mo. And yeah, the Phoenix's fake laughter there was brought in much more natural way than Maya's was. Like, what deal with that freaking carrot? Well, Maya isn't completely wrong here. Yeah, far as I remember, this is his only serious face, so that's why we see it whenever he's like talking normally. Straight back to laughing. For no sensible reason. Yeah, like, you should make sure that all, like each and every one of your acts is a bit different. There needs to be something unique. So someone, even traveling around to see your acts in different places, would get something new. Usually having just a small spiel, like a local small act, is the way that it's done. But even that should change every time. Like, keep the core of the show what it is, but add a local flair, add something just for the occasion. Old-fashioned, I would say more non-existent. And now you're looking like a psychopath. Why? Why can't you? Like, it would make sense that you wouldn't be allowed to talk to complete outsiders in a way. Or, well, to be honest, yeah, it kinda actually makes sense that he would be told not to say to anyone. Because, but that would take that the police wouldn't have a suspect. Because they already arrested someone as a suspect that's going on a trial. So they wouldn't need to make people be silent about talking about the case. So they wouldn't give the actual killer information which they could use in the court to create a better alibi for themselves. But the police is already like 100% sure that yeah, Max is the one who did it. He's going to be the one hanged. So they shouldn't make him not talk. Even the music stops. But this one is actually an okay joke. Come on, you guys. It's actually okay. Well, his day job isn't paying either, so put him. I really should organize somehow so I could have easier access to soundboards that I would use during the stream. Because, like that situation, it would take me a bit too long to get into my soundboard and then play something. And most likely, the situation were long past, or I would drag it out far too long. But I have far too little space. A second Stream Deck, or more likely one of the bigger ones, so I could use this smaller one as a selector for folders, would solve everything. But I'm not going to have the funds for that. Even if I would get a job, that it would still take a while. A long while, most likely. Amazing noise. Why? Magician? Are you talking about The Magician? The cartoon show in the early 2000s? What happened to the rights of that show, by the way? I have no memory. Who did even make that show? Like, you know what? Let's do some live on the stream Googling. Sadly, because I don't have it set up, you guys won't see it. I will try to Google. If I Google The Magician, what do I get? I get the tarot card. A 2005 film? It's not a film. How about animated? Well, it's the Magician cartoon because it's a cartoon. Let's see. Yeah, The Magician. Oh, French TV series. It was French? I was almost certain that it would have been an American one. This is a very traditional show where they made toys and shit, you know, flavor of the month type of deal. I have vague memories that I even saw some of those toys that they were on the magazines here, but I never saw them actually sold anywhere. Wait, it's currently owned by Zion. So it is owned by the French studio now. Huh. Oh, it aired on Fox in '99. One of the few original shows to air in the US at the same time. I remember that it was during the 2000s. Like on the side of 2000 and not 99. But it's still like at the beginning of the millennium. Like just before, during. It took a while to air it all. I remember it was an okay show. It was kind of confusing because like magic is real, magic is not real. It kind of went back and forth on those things constantly. But there we know. There we go. Now we know that the French studio actually owns the rights to it. I'm surprised that we haven't seen or heard anything about it in such a long time. It just got buried completely. Well, because we present Max's profile to everyone, let's present it to him. Hey, he has alliance for it. Well... Don't go into laughing. You are supposed to show that you hate him. Go to cafeteria. Yeah, that laughing was taking so long. Here's the map. Where do you wish to go? An atlas? It was just a sheet of something. Oh... I'm not saying what, and it's not the situation that's happening right now, but this has some implications of something that have happened after the game has been released. So let's just move on. But we actually get a map. So, oh, I should have gone here. Let's actually look at the map. So, Mo, Agro. Why is there nothing else? Because if Mo is on the first, Agro on the third, you would think that there would be two apartments on the second floor as well, and then a second one on the third floor, and someone there, or at the least, if it would be tiered, because I have seen those old tiered housings. So let's expect that the first floor, it's just an entranceway and a hall, and this is always the staircase. So there would be that, then Mo on the first, then on the second, there would at least need to be one other apartment. At least one, to make any sense. The other one could just be like a hallway extension to staircasing or something, and on the third the same thing. But every floor needs to have at least one apartment. Doesn't make sense anyway, any other way. And then when we look at the circus itself, Ringmaster's room, cafeteria, how is this tiered? How is this functioning? What are everything else? Is everything else the stage? Like the stage seating? How does it work? Well, we now have a place to go, so let's go. I think we had to go here, and there we go, picked up cafeteria. We can go in there. Also, good God, what happened on my phone? Oh, I'm being attacked. That's what it is. That's why there is a million notifications. Well, I don't really care that much. And I didn't remember this place looking this messed up. I remember it looking quite clean. Clonk. It'd be obvious that it's a joke. But even if people would have left during a meal, it shouldn't look this disgusting. Like, this looks like it's mold. The old TV here, I guess like it's up to date during the time, but still. It's even a sign, keep it clean, but clean it or die. I don't think so, because who would be the one doing the killing? Bulletins. But there is two things. What are those things? Yeah, I could see that it would become a huge scandal if Maya would do something like that. This is not the crime scene itself, but it's related to the crime scene. Yeah, cleaning a cafeteria is something I really don't want to do. I've been forced to do it once and never again. There is a burger stand outside. The game is making me hungry. Why did you get that idea? It's a broken bottle. There are like fallen chairs here as well. What a horrible table it would be. Like, no one could be eating a 10-meal course in a freaking circus anyway. Plus, looking at Max's body, it would more likely to be that he's starving himself, so his magic trick would work better. Which is most likely the reality. It requires many people to actually make that kind of trick work, and you need to be light. It's really hard to do, even when you're light. From what I know of Maya's culinary skills, no, I would definitely not. I would expect to die while eating it, and then it would just be Maya saying, "Hey, you can't arrest me. It was called the killer hamburger. Why are you arresting me? It says on the name that it's a killer." Ugh. Yeah, I think this is all we can summarize from here at the moment. But did we actually have to go back and mention that to Mo? Is that everything? Could I showcase this to? No. But you can make a very huge conclusion from that alone, but I'm not gonna talk about more if you didn't get what I was going at with that. Wait, so it wasn't displaying that? Oh, did we have to go talk to Max about it? Was that the case? It actually would make more sense. Oh, time advances. Now both of them are your sweeties? Hello, Goron. Well, let's present the bottle. No, I don't get it as a line. But, wait, these lines are new? What? Did you remember that it replaces the lines? Don't ask me. I would prefer not to. Do I need to remind? He's 21. She's 16. No. Bad. I'm gonna crush this glass here and seal you inside the shards. That is doable. It just takes a lot of time and very gruesome acts. You can't be talking about the law, because I am the Lord! Hey, she didn't. I wish it would be that easy, but it's not. Like, when we get to the actual court part, we could just lose, but it's going to be the end of the game instead of just a just reward. And I don't know, will the death penalty by hanging be the real good way to end it? Not saying that it's not good justice for that act, but the one who actually committed the murder would be getting away scot-free. I think a separate trial would need to be taken place. Well, now I'm a bit stumped since I remember that the bottle was the key, but oh yeah, of course, I have to present it during this now, don't I? So let me skip the starting part since we have already gone through this. And papers. Blah 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 blah, because we've gone through this. And this is just something that we just have to assume. Like, I wouldn't have just made the automatic conclusion that this bottle would be the reason for it. Because things like that should usually let cool down first before talked about, and they would be talked about in a completely different manner. Plus, I just noticed something really scary about this bottle. Notice how the label is cut exactly clean. This was a custom-made broken bottle. A broken bottle doesn't just cleanly cut the label like this, where the glass goes. It usually leaves in tatters randomly. Most likely, when the bottle breaks, if there is enough of it breaking away, it will take huge clumps of the label with it. Or the label will just stick out entirely, while the sharp glass edges are hidden inside the label. And here's the other thing: we were told that he was Klopp, but it was only briefly just mentioned. And now we can actually talk about the meeting. Do I need to go back? Like, I'm going back here so many times. 21, 31, 16. He is almost bloody twice her age. This is the creepy out. Like, this can be understood. Almost. With the age of consent in Japan, it can almost be understood. There isn't that huge of a difference, but there's almost double the difference here. Go on, please. Don't spoil the rest of the playthrough. You know, that's like the worst place to do that, right? Unless you make the ultimatum that you either let her marry me or I'm going to leave the circus. And even then you're just going to look at very scummy plus very, very creepy. Here comes the name puns again. I mostly enjoy them, but when you find out about it later on, like you forgot about the name and then see it and like, oh, this is why I didn't remember anything about the name. The truth must come out. Well, we have our next course of action. Back to the circus we go. And time has advanced. So, into the picked up. Yeah, it's not that related when you think about it now. Well, Goron, like, we will find him eventually. Like, after the last case, the mystery of the missing Mo, we solved it today. We actually found Mo. Now both Eenie and Meanie should be at peace, because Mo is finally found. Yeah, and Phoenix just let it happen. Like, I can understand that Phoenix wouldn't be able to react fast enough for Maya taking it, but the fact that Maya's keeping it is the issue. Okay, I don't remember at all where it could be, but it's something that we can study now, but which we couldn't before. In the trophy case? I couldn't see that. Well, Phoenix is sensible and not carrying it. It's disturbingly like it would be the son of the ventriloquist. Not a sidekick, the son. Same kind of shirt, bow tie, hair. Oh, thank you. I couldn't see the hydrate below that, and I was very confused. Thank you. You know, I'm giving an extra because I just couldn't notice that. There we go. It tastes awful, but I really needed that. And to the cafeteria we go. Well, I talk about the weather constantly. I'm old. Phoenix, that was very uncalled for. Like, Phoenix was acting like an ass. If someone stutters, you don't copy that. It's starting to develop. She is growing an attraction to her. A true attraction. Well, he's not really talking, so time for the puppet. Immediately he was talking clearly. Where did he go? Yeah, like he vanished and came back. Just so he could put on the puppet. Why is he employed at this circus? You could see his lips moving. He's a very bad relinquist. Like, is the only reason he's here because he just accepts getting punched constantly? Well, we should have completely different lines now. Like, I remember that in the original, they didn't animate his lips, so it looked like he would be a far better at his job. It's like it felt like people in the circus were experts. Like, even though like his act is funny if he's actually acting the fact that he's thinking he's funny, but you know. Yeah, like he's outing himself quite badly here, isn't he? Let's go with the fraud first, huh? it's complicated now, isn't it? Because you have to think about the whole image. Yeah, like you need to think about the whole picture. Anyway, it's not pretty now, is it? And that song makes it even worse. Little work needs a complete overhaul. And did he really leave for the court? What else do I have to do? I can do now. It was a short one. Monkey. Oh, yeah, I didn't remember that this happens before the trial. But yeah, Phoenix is being assaulted a second time today here. The monkey stole badge. Stop it, Regina. Yeah, Money the Monkey. That's a way better name, because you don't think immediately money with the monkey. Unlike the lion named Lion. Well, let's talk about the monkey first. Yeah, money problems. That's actually a good joke. It makes sense. A monkey needs a completely different type of training than large predator animals. Like, a monkey needs more a very, very, very patient babysitter. Yeah, like, this situation just gets worse and worse and worse now, does it? I'm almost there as well, go around. And this is going to make things even more awkward now, isn't it? Yeah. Things are bad when you have to just admit that you are confused and need to ask Maya. Like, at this point it should be quite obvious that she's not going to be someone who's going to handle running the circus when all of this is clear. I'm almost there as well, Goran. If my stomach wouldn't be hurting so much at the moment, I don't think I would be eating for a while either. Okay, well, we have our destination now, so let's go to the lodging. And let's go to Mo's room. And bravo! He actually made a good joke based on Phoenix's own okay joke. What? What do you mean, Dora? Really? Really? I know it's saying something, but you know that there is also a tiger. A way seemingly good acting, well-behaving tiger. I said that would be a way more safer option than any of these lunatics. And that's saying much. Yeah, I would thought so as well. Like, it might be a good thing that we don't see a lot about him. He's like the only sensible one in the distance, you know. Maya, no, you can't. Yeah, like there is a much parallel between her and Pearl, especially like the way that both of them are just bouncing happily while being completely obvious what's going on, and a lot of parallels, yes. Yeah, that's sensible though. No, it doesn't explain that. Even though you live in a circus, it wouldn't, and that would be alive, it wouldn't automatically mean that you should, you know, be crazy. That was an acceptable joke. Yeah, let's go now. And whoa, everything looks even more shiny in this version. What's that emote? It's outside of my window. Oh, that's an adorable emote. But now you're making me even more hungry. I was like actually thinking about maybe I should make some noodles, but it is quite late. And making them would take a while, but now I might be forced to do so. Yeah, I just never seen the emote before. Oh, it's a bit donation one as well, huh? It doesn't... Oh, it actually it does say that if I hover long enough. I am very intrigued and would be wanting to participate. Sadly, I just cannot buy bits myself. And yeah, we have Acro, the Acrobat. With the puns. Not even puns, with the obvious names. Okay, let's examine the place. Well, we know that Acro is a small type of monkey. Why the calendar is a gorilla though? Wait, what? Oh, is it actually meant to be like here? Wait, the bed itself? Huh. Well, that's like a creative name. You would expect a acrobat that's not so good at their job, which could be a funny act, instead of just calling an acrobat acro. A clown being Mo, that's a name. That's an actual name, but acrobat acro, no. Leon the Lion, no. Like, well, Mo doesn't say anything about the clown. Mo might be a good name for clown, it just depends, is it played out well? And usually is the clown itself good, which we know that Mo is not. So... Oh, so wait. In what form did you mean that you are better than Mo? At jokes? Definitely. You are definitely better than Mo. Maya, why? Also, most monkeys should... oh, well, to be honest, I don't think any monkey could use their tail in such a manner that they can actually get the ball going with it. if there would be a big enough rat, they might, because rats have way more, like, let's say, tension on their tails. Rats can actually fling themselves off with their tails, like some monkeys do. But those tails actually have, like, way better grip. Well, that should leave everything except the pile. We can't talk about the dirt. So the tire is a thing on its own? Is the ball a thing on its own? No, it's the pile. Goron, I just have to admit, I don't get it. Like, I can foresee that maybe it's a thing if I would say that out loud, but I'm not going to. But I can't immediately see what it is. Yeah, I'm not good with puns like that. Like, I might have actually gotten it, but the turnip really threw me off. And we just take the ring. Well, we are talking about the circus case, so... And there we go. It's been 3 hours, so I think it's best that we stop at this part. So let's save. We'll save over this. And we call it there. And yeah. So thanks a lot for everyone joining today. Let's see who are we going to raid before I press anything. There is many channels at the moment which I know. It's gonna be hard to decide. Although one of them is streaming something I'm interested in watching, so we might go for that. Although I need to sort out something to eat. But can I resist? It's something I want to see anyway, so we are going for that, even though we have rated them a bit too many times, I guess. But it won't matter if this is going to be another one. But before I press the button, again, I would like to thank everyone so much for joining today. Hopefully you join me next time, which I can't still announce because I don't know how the weekend is going. It is clear that I'm going to be here for the weekend, so expect me trying to get at least one stream during it somewhere. But for the usual, the ones that I can announce, Monday we are going to continue with the Battlefield Gothic, and Tuesday we are going to continue with the Might and Magic 7. Hopefully we get past the dungeon, because that dungeon is a boring horror show. And then next Thursday we are going to continue with this case. Now let's raid Scarf. He's playing a Doctor Who game which I not heard of before. So again, thanks everyone. Bye.